I'm Masale Sol-Young, Executive Director of Urban Homeworks, a housing justice and community development nonprofit based in the heart of North Minneapolis. North Minneapolis is a dynamic and culturally rich community where 81% of the population proudly identifies as BIPOC. This showcases the vibrant tapestry of cultures, traditions, and stories that weave our community together. Unfortunately, North Minneapolis also faces significant disparities in housing, education, healthcare, and policing, all born from generations of racist housing policies and intentional disinvestment. Unaffordable rents and unjust evictions perpetuate instability and hardship for many of our neighbors. Here at Urban Homeworks, we believe that stable, affordable, and dignified housing is both a human right and an essential building block for the well-being of individuals, households, and communities. We use stable housing to empower our residents to drive change. We advocate for bold solutions to control rent spikes, stop large corporations from buying single-family homes, and increase funding for deeply affordable home ownership options. I'm here today to ask you now to support our remarkable community, to make an investment in the powerful leaders doing this work every day, and to ensure that dignified housing is a human right. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. All right, one more time. Hello, everyone, and good evening. Excellent. So, hello, and welcome to Perpetuate the Hope. We are so excited to be with you this evening. My name is Danica Leonard, and I serve as co-chair of the Urban Homeworks Board of Directors.
And good evening, everyone. My name is Jim Bear Jacobs. I am the fellow co-chair on the Urban Homeworks Board of Directors. And we want to thank every single one of you for being in this room with us this evening. Tonight, we crafted an evening filled with joy, community, and generosity. We're here to share incredible stories, celebrate some great music, and provide opportunities to join this beautiful community.
Yes, and before we get there, as a housing developer, as a neighbor, it is important for us to begin with a statement acknowledging the history that got us here, a statement we call our land and labor acknowledgement. While this is not a statement of joy, it's a statement of purpose and solidarity. It recognizes the reality of our past and commits us together to forging a different future. I'd like to invite Urban Homeworks Development Director Paul Vleen to the stage to read this commitment.
Let's all take a moment of solitude to make this commitment and acknowledge. We acknowledge that we live our lives and do our work on land that European colonizers stole from the Dakota peoples indigenous to Minnesota. We also acknowledge that we live our lives and do our work on land that was cultivated and developed by bodies that European colonizers stole from West African countries through the transatlantic slave trade. In order for these thefts to occur, sadistic acts of genocide, rape, and forced assimilation were employed. We acknowledge what was taken from our collective human ancestors. As we do so, we commit to work and fight for the liberation of the descendants of those enslaved through American chattel slavery and the sovereignty of all Native American peoples.
We recognize that we can confront our past and pursue a just future with unwavering determination, doing so joyfully because we are doing it together. Thank you for being a part of this work and pursuing a just and joyful future.
As we think of all who are joining us in this work, we want to say a special thank you to our sponsors for tonight that helped make this event possible. And we have our sponsors listed here. Can we all just give them a little acknowledgement? We also want to say thank you to our community builders who invited friends, family, neighbors, and co-workers to this event. This year, there was a little bit of a competition amongst the community builders to see who could bring the most people. And we want to take just a moment right now to recognize Claire Vander Eyck, who brought, I think it's at least 13 people tonight. So Claire, if you could come on up, we have a little something for you.
Congratulations. Tonight, we are here to inspire and encourage each of you to make generous gifts to Urban Homeworks. Our goal is to raise $100,000 in individual gifts and pledges for our work. Throughout the night, we will be checking in on how we're doing toward that goal. And you can also check in on the ticker by following this website or QR code. It should be on the screen, where you can also make your gift or pledge.
I found it. Right there. At Urban Homeworks, we are creating housing justice on so many fronts. One property at a time, one policy at a time, one person at a time. And right now, we have the honor of introducing you to one of those amazing people who has been part of our journey this past year. Please join me in welcoming Amber Buck as she comes to share part of her story.
Which you'll see as well. So like I said, my name is Amber Buck. I am the Director of Equity and Inclusion at Washburn Center for Children, which is community-based mental health for kids. And I am also a sister. I have 5 brothers and sisters. Grew up here in Minneapolis. I'm a co-parent to a 5 and 6-year-old with my ex-husband, and I am a daughter to a single parent who grew up here. So my idea of home growing up, pretty poor with my mom. My idea of home was the 4 walls we found ourselves in and my family, my immediate family. We moved a lot, and so I didn't really get attached to a specific place. That changed when I bought a house. My idea of family as home stayed the same. My sister lives 5 minutes from me. My ex-husband lives 1 block away from me. I blame Urban Homeworks, because I was like, absolutely not. And my realtor showed me the house, and I was like, fine. Fine, I will live there, fine, right? So my idea of home was my immediate family. And since buying a home, it's only been a few months. It's changed. Of course, it's my immediate family, but it's my neighbors. It's the dogs that I see in front of me. And I'm like, dang, I should know the name of that dog. I see him every day. I'm an introvert. Do I have to ask? Yes. What's your dog's name? Right? My neighbors, my friends, the parkway. My idea of home changed from my immediate family and the 4 walls, which were never decorated, to my community. And I really appreciate Urban Homeworks for giving me that. They gave me the perfect house, a 100-year-old house with new plumbing, so I don't have to fix it. New electrical, new kitchen, right? So I have this house that I don't worry about, but feels like I'm connected to the people who held it for 100 years. And my idea of home has been transformed because of Urban Homework. So I need all of y'all who have that extra $100,000 in your pocket. I know it's burning a hole in your pocket. Take it out right now and give it to Urban Home. You're not going to do anything with it anyway. Give it to Urban Homework because they need it and they deserve it because they have really transformed my life by making me a homeowner to such a beautiful place. Thanks. I'm actually the first person in the entirety of my family to ever own a home. I never really wanted to own a home. It seemed scary, and I think I was so afraid of buying a house because I was thinking of what happens when the sewer backs up, what happens when the electrical doesn't work, what happens when a window gets broken. Like, I dreamed of it, but it wasn't a dream that I ever thought would really happen, especially as a single woman. Buying a house as a Black person is truly something to celebrate because of the history of inequity and racism in this country. I feel like I had an easier process in buying a house than most people do. My realtor showed me this house and someone from Urban Homeworks was here and able to tell me all the things they renovated. The best part of the partnership with Urban Homeworks was when they came to my closing and explained so many things about home ownership to me. Urban Homeworks is an organization that works with neighborhoods and communities. They work with donors and developers to create homes that people can be proud of, regardless of if they're renting or owning. I knew this was the house for me. It was in North Minneapolis, and I'm familiar with North Minneapolis, and I like North Minneapolis. It's actually been really great. I am reflected here. My kids go to school in this neighborhood. My friends live in this neighborhood. There's mature trees and old houses and beautiful architecture. There's community here. People care about each other here.
You want some fries, Sonny?
Yeah.
I've been with Urban Homeworks for approximately 12 and a half years. I was actually going to the library and this woman was saying, well, they got this program called Urban Homeworks and they're doing good things for the community. We filled the application out. They showed us a few houses and we've been here ever since.
Growing up in this home has been good.
I enjoy living over here, man. I enjoy the parks.
Spending time with each other, cooking together.
Once you get in that kitchen, it's a sense of family, and you know you're finna have a good time, you know you're finna laugh.
I just like our bond we have.
My roles was I got a computer.
I try to intentionally build rituals and traditions with my kids. Every day after school, we do rosebud and thorn, which is the best part of your day, the worst part of your day, and something that you're looking forward to. I want to know about their lives. I want to know what's happening with them, and I want to be a part of it. So that when they are going through something, it's so much easier for them to tell me about it because it's a regular part of our day, where we get to connect.
By having a decent home so that you have upbringing for your children, that gives them confidence.
To watch this boy just grow into the young man he's becoming, straight A student, all around athlete, respectable. Just know that I have something that's mine, that I worked hard for, and that I can leave my children and they can leave it to their children.
Just having something to be proud of.
Personalize and add pieces of yourself to your house without thinking of how it's going to impact another person.
Everybody looks out for each other.
I see a bright future for me and my family.
I have a place that's mine, that's consistent.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's sweet smells, a rhythm that's familiar, and a love overflowing. Home is where I learned love, pain, joy, and resilience, with a foundation that runs deep from generation to generation. Cycles kept and cycles broken, but one thing remains the same. Home is sacred.
provide a stable home is foundational to supporting thriving families and connecting communities. I've experienced that firsthand. How I got interested into knowing about Urban Home Works, I was on the bus one day, and I heard these two women talking about this affordable living program called Urban Home Works. So as they were done talking, I asked the woman, did she have more information about the program for me? She gave me a card. As I got settled in, I called the number and set up a time so I could do an application. About 2 weeks went past, and a lady named Anna called me and told me that me and my family had been approved for Urban Home Works. We've been there since. When we moved in, it was a breath of fresh air. A lot of stress was removed from me and Bridget, and we have a solid foundation for our son. By having stable, affordable housing, we've been able to save money, go on vacations, and also take our son to different states for basketball tournaments. And it also allows us to imagine first-time ownership. Giving to Urban Home Works means investing in families like mine, investing in North Minneapolis, investing in a dream of a different future. You have the opportunity tonight to invest in those dreams, to invest in dreams of what it could be like. What if we could make sure everybody has access to a home they can afford? What if no one had to choose between having a home and buying food or medicine? That's the dream Urban Home Works believes in. Tonight you get to join in that dream, to make it your own, to help make it possible. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today, seeing what we can achieve together. Now I'm thrilled to invite Black Improv onto the stage. Their goal is to put more Black performers on more stages, to create comic dialogue around serious truths, and to provide improv access to Black students. Blackout is changing the face of comedy stages in Minnesota and all over the world. Let's give them a warm welcome. Black Improv.
Just imagine going to see a play, and then someone says that nobody actually wrote a script. You made it up right there on the spot. That's what's going to happen. We're going to cover housing as a general theme, but before we get started, we have I was just going to share a lovely story, and we're just going to join in there. Give it up for
Okay, I'll speak up a little. So, I actually am a former renter for Urban Home Works. Well, I will say that it was a great opportunity in running Urban Home Works. I still recommend them to people. Recommend you all people. Because you're present. I was in a situation, at the time I was married and my children had just turned 1 and 3. We were living in Mary's place and I had lost my job. My husband at the time had lost his job and we had these babies and it's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And looking for a place was difficult, not as difficult as it is now, but it was still difficult a good 10 plus years ago. And I didn't even know what Urban Homeworks was, but there was a representative that came to Mary's place, told them about the program, they thought about us, and long story short, we ended up moving into a 2-bedroom, 1-bath duplex on the south side, and it was a place that my children still remember because we lived there for 6 years. And one of the things that was very difficult was that when I came to hard times, me and my ex-husband had just divorced. I had been in and out of the hospital for a year, and I lost my job. And at that time, the decision was made not to renew my lease, which on a management end, I understand. But there was still, it felt like a lack of support, but at the same time, there were so many moving parts going on in my life. And that's what happens with a lot of people when they're looking for housing. It may be a situation where there is a lot going on, and it can be very stressful. And since then, we moved to another place. We have been there for about 5 years. And one of the things that definitely was key to me that I learned while renting from Urban Homeworks is how important stability is. My kids still remember that duplex as like the first place that they remember growing up. And that's important because there's so many kids that go from house to house to house and different living situations, and it provided the stability that we needed at that time. So even though things may not have ended well, I appreciate the experience for what it was. And especially with the housing crisis being what it is right now, that's one of the reasons I do recommend you all, because there's so many people that were so helpful with not just rental, help with renting, but also with home ownership, which is something I still plan on doing. So I'm So just wanted to share my experience as a former renter.
Yeah, let's go. Now let's do some scenes, improvised scenes inspired by the story. We're not going to recreate that story. But we'll definitely just do some scenes inspired by that. With car Jackson and keys. Didn't they ask for your help? Housing! I got that housing! Who needs that housing? You got your house? Hey, boy, stop! Hey, Mike, hey! Listen, you looking kind of cool. I am not. I just came from the UK. Okay, that's all. That's all. Right now, you're here. Right here. You need a house here. I understand. What are you saying? That's personal. Okay. What's up, man? What you need? What's up?
Hey, young blood.
What happened?
You want a duplex? You don't want no house. That's a lot of responsibility. You're gonna split that house.
Listen. You know my own shit.
You want to live upstairs, something downstairs.
You can't be pushing home ownership. That's my role. Hey, why rent when you can buy?
Come on, man. Listen.
Why buy when you can buy half a place?
Shopping in the Mall of America.
You know what the mall doesn't have?
All these people talking to me. Where am I?
Yes, that's exactly where you
I
are.
want myself out of this Mall of America.
Be very confident. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so you see this mess you made right here?
Yeah.
I thought you said so.
Yeah, so I make messes, so sometimes I make a mess, sometimes I'm a little jittery, so.
I want to get my security deposit back. I know you don't know what that is because you're poor. You see, when a man and woman love a home.
Okay. You know what? Actually, Edie already told me about all that.
Okay, so then you do know what security deposit is.
I know what the security deposit, I'm a little jittery, and I want you to get your deposit back, and that's why I want you to teach you how to fix up this mess, okay?
so lovely. It's just kind of lacking something. I was hoping for more of a childish flair, if you will.
Oh, yeah,
And these walls are so clean.
well, if you're looking for a childish player, let me show you the second bedroom first.
So I'll just be renting a room and not the whole place, or?
Well, you would own the whole place. Think of it like a brooch. You would think you would pay rent, but I'm a guy.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna let you two get to know each other.
Ooh, good idea. I went to South High.
Okay, my name is Bernice. I grew up in Vermont, which is like so fun. And I know 25 different types of syrup. Yeah, there's maple, oak, birch, evergreen, sweet. One day, real soon, I hope we get along. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. Why are you singing the song without feeling? It sounds like you don't believe that you're gonna get this one. No, I need you to do is take a power stance. Now look out for it. You see those hopes? You see those dreams? You see that light in the back of the room? That's center stage. Look at it, feel it, and now sing. Sing like you believe you can own a home one day, because that's how home ownership works. One You right up in his come on. Now hit the big note. Bigger note. Biggest note. Okay. Yeah, it's because, you know what? I feel like the access, this application process is different. I heard about this. Now work with me. I want to live in a home. I want to live in an urban. Okay. And I know there's a business that got a lot of herbs and homes for folks like me. I don't think I have to do a bunch of song and dance for these folks. No, I think I'm talking some, but not to some, just a girl home first. I'm gonna do an application. And I would do a man. As ourselves, and based on that conversation, we will do improvised scenes. We only have a few minutes, so we're just going to conversate about housing for a year from now. We'll do some scenes, realize, in short scenes, as fast as we can, just the lights if we're going too long. Yeah. I can start. I'm saving up
up to get some sort of condo sort of situation. No applause, that's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Houses have yards, and that doesn't appeal to me. Who experience the season of winter. Look at me. I'm not meant for a shovel. But I know there's all these like first-time home buyer things, and that you apparently only need like 3% or whatever, but it comes with mortgage insurance, which reminds me a lot of like student loans. It doesn't make sense, right? They're like, sure, you don't have the money for the 20%, therefore you can still get it, but then there's more insurance. I don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't seem like it's helpful. It seems like a trap, and I just don't understand it. If someone who does houses help me understand it, it sounds like a problem. Banks are evil.
I'm going to have to ask you to do something. You never do this for me often, but I'm going to just, could you please be a dear heart and set the table for the family because I got to go.
But I'm filling out the application so that our family can have a bigger home.
I appreciate that, but this is a very difficult task. Setting the dinner table.
Yes, I understand how hard it is to put down dishes, napkins, and utensils.
I honestly, I got to commend a lot of people that have done it before us. Because I don't know how they could do it.
You know what? That can wait. That's something the kids can do later. But what we need to do right now.
Yeah. But I just.
See this? See this? See this? This application.
It's too hard. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. It's like freaking Florida division all over again.
Oh yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But you know what?
What?
You know what makes it easier?
Set the table.
The kids are gonna set the table.
Yes, you keep talking about the kids like I don't know who they are.
So you're telling me that he just started crying over this thing?
I mean, he was sweating, crying, like his hands. Oh my goodness.
I don't know why you decided to talk to some man about home ownership. That don't make no sense.
Hey, you pretty talking my way.
Yeah, I'm talking to your wife. You mean my sister? Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my sister.
I just said that weird stuff. So they just came to ask you why you said up to
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. My sister about our family stuff. Here, sit there.
And you're my middleman. It's my middleman.
Here's another man.
It's not a house. I know. I'm doing that like my business. All right. I knew you.
Excuse me. I am your cashier, okay? Why are you going back and telling everyone about how you're white?
I live a transparent life.
Hey, listen, if you want, I just want to buy my stuff.
Okay, well,
Sir,
I only want to buy a pack of gum. Can I just skip the money?
I'm sorry, I'm going to give everyone equal treatment. Just give me a moment. Okay, so as far as you, yes, you can have 20 on 5, and also you can have a home. You can do it.
They selling homes at Speedway now?
I would like to go delicious and I would like a 3-bedroom bed.
We don't sell Bubblicious anymore. It's past the expiration date.
All right. Does that mean it's free?
No.
Does that mean the home is free?
No. But if you want to put an application here to work here at a gas station.
no, come on. Honey, I did what you said to do, and I talked to the kids. You told me to talk to the kids, right?
Oh, you mean those kids that you didn't know you had?
You kept bringing it up like I didn't know they were my kids. It's my kids. I know their names. They're Timmy and Tyrese. The R&B singer. Timmy and Tyrese.
Okay, old school Tyrese, okay? Real bad on furious Tyrese. Big on And I'm
So you tell me you have to educate him on who Tyrese is? Girl, where are you going? Where are you going? Denzel.
I'm Alcide Bruno, and this is Kari Jackson.
Give it up for Kari!
Thank you for letting us speak our truth and be in community with you. It's such an important event for you all and to be able to roll with this big mission. So we appreciate you inviting us and being able to talk about real things and still have joy because of it. Thank you. Good night.
Home is sacred. I want to begin by thanking Amber and Corey for gifting us with their stories and journeys toward home. Home is sacred. Can we say thank you to Amber? Woo! Thank you. This is the foundation of our work. And as we talk about housing as a human right and talk about ourselves as an organization that fights for housing justice, Amber and Corey's stories encapsulate why. We believe everyone has a right to home that is treated with dignity and respect. A place of reprieve, a safe space, a place where you can be with your family in safety, knowing that what is created there is truly precious. I want to thank you all so much for being here. It's always such a treat to gather together to celebrate the victories of the year. Wherever our success is as an organization, it is also your success. It is the success of a community coming together, powerfully galvanized behind a singular mission of a community coming together on affordable, dignified housing to every member in our community who wants one. And so to never forget those for whom the system has historically and presently made so difficult to gain. As many of you already know, this year our board of directors voted for the mission and vision of the organization to more accurately reflect and clarify our work over the past several years. They cast a vision worthy of relentless pursuit: housing justice for all. A world where, yes, a world where no one is ever denied their basic human right for a stable home to live, thrive, and love. We have worked with courageous audacity towards this vision, and renaming our vision statement to honor that means that we will continue to do so until housing justice for all Minnesotans is realized. Our mission, which lives in our bones and drives us to deeper collaboration with our community, is to lead the fight for housing justice so that all people have safe, stable, and dignified places to live. These are words that you hear from us often, and they're now codified in our mission. The how of our work. How we get this done is just as important as the why we do it, and even more important than the what. Because housing stability is the foundation for a thriving life. It is the soil in which our individual and family roots are planted. It is this place from where we grow. This is our work. This is the one. To ensure all families have access to this if they choose. And this work, this mission, is sacred and precious. But we cannot do it alone. And in order for us to go after this together, we must first collectively recognize the true state of housing access in Minnesota and the Twin Cities. The state of injustice that we are working through and fighting each and every day. Because when we close our eyes and refuse to see the truth, we let down our neighbors. And we have We have let down our neighbors. Those without shelter, forced to face the grueling elements of our rapidly changing climate, those suffering from addiction, those who have come to this country with the hope of a better tomorrow, the promise of the great American dream, a dream intended to always seem just out of reach. It was predetermined who would have access to affordable and dignified housing. And if you were forced by redlining because of the color of your skin, because of anti-blackness, into a particular zip code with little to no options to participate in home ownership, it was predetermined that you would not be valued. You would not be humanized. You would rarely, if ever, be offered the opportunity for peace and dignity in your community, in your neighborhood, or in your home. We have turned our backs, and therefore allowed rotten soil to be planted and then cultivated. As an organization founded in faith, we recognize that across the many faith communities that support our work and walk with us on this journey, the persistent cry of the prophets is, how long will this injustice endure? How long will our brothers and sisters toil against the rotten soil of a system never intended to yield the blessed fruit of their labor? Now is the time to excavate and remove the rot. Create a new foundation for truly thriving life. We are building a foundation where home can be sacred for all of our neighbors. So where's the joy in all of this fight? At Urban Homeworks, we find joy in those hard-won victories, breaking through the cracks of injustice. Those rays are a beacon of light that remind us we are on the right path, and the relentless pursuit is worth it. This year, we helped craft housing legislation that would alleviate the burden of rising costs of homeownership for first-time, low-income homebuyers. And after nearly 28 years of never asking, after grueling hearings and bipartisan meetings, and so often believing we had lost our first fight at the Capitol, Urban Homeworks was awarded $5 million for families of four making less than $75,000 a year now. This victory is definitely not just ours. We were merely the vehicle, the advocate at the Capitol demanding that homes be built for low-income families to access ownership, to be built for them. Not an afterthought, but the first thought. This is a community victory because it allows us to build an additional 10 to 15 homes over the next 3 years. This is a victory of the Minnesota State Legislature, where behind the scenes we received bipartisan support to do something about the lack of deeply affordable housing stock in this region. We find joy in those hard-won victories that show a glimmer of hope breaking through the cracks of injustice. And that joy is even sweeter when folks reach across the aisle to acknowledge that we all see the need and we all want to address it. We find joy in the hard-won victories breaking through the cracks of injustice. We also find joy in a community coming together to recognize we ourselves have the power to transform our spaces. Spaces that the city seems at times to have forgotten. Spaces like 21st Avenue North, between Lyndale and Penn. Spaces like the Nooks in Ventura Village centered around Chicago and Franklin Avenues, the spaces forced to fill the vacancies that Peavy Park left in South Minneapolis. It is in spaces like these where the majority of residents are Black, Indigenous, and immigrant. Spaces like these where the median household income stands at less than $35,000 a year. Spaces like these where it's easiest to see the impact of neglected soil. Soil that the system has made rotten and then tossed to the side. So in 2022, we started our first BIPOC think tank. This came after witnessing the impact of a group of us volunteering on one of Urban Homework's Northside properties. The impact we witnessed was specifically in the faces and interests of young people. Young people who were excited to see faces that looked like their own, building homes in their community. So we grew that. In that first year, we brought together a group of neighbors, electeds, nonprofit, and community leaders, and we talked about the power of home in our families and communities. We talked about the power and meaning of ownership in our families and our communities. And we did this while also erecting a brand new garage as a part of a larger renovation project to transform a soon-to-be home for a future first-time home buyer. And for those of you that were here last year, you will remember that home. That home was donated to Urban Homeworks by a white family who had owned it for over a century. They had passed it down generation after generation. And after 100 years, they said, we're going to give this to the community. And little did we know then, y'all, this is the best part. We were developing that home for Amber and her children. Together, we transform the soil. So together, we must celebrate and find joy in those small cracks of hope that remind us there is a guiding light led by the long arc of justice. This year, we were able to see that vision of think tanks expand further with even more community members, bringing love, energy, care, and brain trust into 21st Avenue, one of our properties that was hit by the crime in the area and devastatingly impacted by the blind eye of the city. And we planted a fruit-bearing tree on the corner of Emerson and 21st, and literally planted seeds of hope right alongside that tree. And each group that arrived in early morning and remained until mid-afternoon expressed feelings of joy and pouring labor into that space, joy of being together with folks who care so deeply about our communities, and joy in the idea that we were reclaiming that corner, Emerson and 21st Avenue North. We were reclaiming it for safe, secure, affordable, and dignified housing. In South Minneapolis, we've been gathering with community-based organizations to work in collaboration to address the increased crime and violence in that area. In 2021, we formed what we now call the Southside Peacekeeping Coalition. And on September 26th, the Ventura Village community came together, neighbors, business owners, nonprofits, faith institutions, and the police came together to address what we all can do to reclaim the area for all of our neighbors seeking peace and safety in home and community. And it was profound. Profound because everyone listened to each other. We spoke directly to each other as empowered people capable of taking a stand and rejecting the idea
that we that live in such spaces don't have deep care for our neighbors and neighborhoods. That day, the group determined that being present in the neighborhood was a step to reclaiming the neighborhood. Presence meaning greeting people, making eye contact, seeing folks need help and offering to support. It was decided that a community cleanup was our next collective action. Now, these are families, y'all, who are experiencing so much crime that they're afraid to let their children sit on the front streets of their homes. But they looked around and saw each other, all wanting the same thing, and decided that what they all needed was to be more present with each other in a space that regularly threatens their safety. That is powerful. So we find joy in the collective fight for justice. Now, some in the room might say, you didn't change the housing landscape in Minnesota with those Northside think tanks and those Southside listening sessions. But I would say, we found joy in a hard-won victory of people coming together to take a stand and say, this space will be home and haven, sacred and sanctuary. And we will work with our bodies, minds, and hearts to ensure that outcome. And we will do it in a corner of a pocket of the city too long disinvested in. So we will not continue to allow our communities to be forgotten. We will not allow them to be lost. And there is the most joy in joining with the community to see that through. Being relentless in isolation does not yield joy. It is a collective pursuit of the hard-won victory, a victory we define together, that breaks through the cracks of injustice and becomes the beacon of light that reminds us we are on the right path. Today, on this Thursday, October 12th, 2023, I ask you, are you ready to find joy like this? Yes. To be a part of something burgeoning that is collectively defined by the people most impacted? Are you ready to join us in this fight, this determination to both find and bring joy through hard-won victories that will break through the cracks of injustice and be a guiding light that reminds us that our collective, relentless pursuit is, in fact, worth it? I challenge you to mark your calendars today to say that this day I renewed my commitment to housing justice. This is the day I joined in collective action with my community to fund what we all believe in: affordable and dignified housing for all of my neighbors who want it, so that one day I can celebrate alongside of them in what we know will be a hard-won joy in knowing that we are all thriving. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Paul Vleen. I am the Development Director for Urban Homeworks, and it is my pleasure, my honor to be able to speak to all of you, to invite you into this joy, into this community, into the incredible opportunity to support this vision that you're hearing about tonight. It takes $2 million a year in private donations for Urban Homeworks to do what we do, to show up in community, to pursue housing justice, to lead that fight. It takes a generous community of support. for us to develop or to deliver on our commitment to create as many opportunities as possible for our neighbors to have safe, stable, and dignified housing, and to have it now. At this moment, we are $700,000 away from that annual goal. Now, tonight, our goal is to raise $100,000 in individual gifts and pledges. But if we raise that full $700,000 and close that gap, I will come around and give every one of you a hug. To make a gift tonight, you can do so by phone, digitally, or by paper. To make a gift online, you can pull out your phone. In your programs, there's a QR code. It's also up on the screen. And that will take you to our giving page, or you can type in the web page address at www.urbanhomeworks.org/pth-donate. If you prefer paper, you can write a check or fill out the pledge card that we've included in your bags. I encourage you to pull those out now. And to hand it to your community builder or to any of the staff that you see with a green glow stick. As we've shared in other spaces, we have two incredible opportunities, two incredible matches for your gifts tonight. So we call our monthly donors Stability Makers. And for every new Stability Maker tonight committing $25 or more, $25 a month or more, we have a generous gift that will match your next 12 months of gifts tonight. So if you commit $25 a month tonight, this match will give us $300. If you give us a commitment of $20 or $50 a month, that means a match of $600. If you make a commitment of $100 a month tonight, Urban Homeworks gets $1,200 tonight. Also, you'll see online that we have a ticker tracking this $100,000 that we're hoping to raise tonight. And we have an anonymous donor who has committed that if we meet that goal and we raise $100,000 in individual gifts and pledges, they will give an additional $25,000 to Urban Homeworks. It's an incredible opportunity. Every single gift counts toward that goal. Every single pledge counts toward that goal. If you make a pledge, a multi-year pledge, all years of that pledge count toward that goal. So toward that goal. So I encourage you to consider a multi-year pledge of $500 a year, $1,000 a year, $5,000 a year. We need donors at every level to make this mission and this vision possible. And I have to highlight something that just recently happened for me. I was practicing this speech last night, and my kids were getting ready for bed, and I'd gone downstairs for something, and I came upstairs, and there was an envelope on my pillowcase, and it says this: Dad, you said every gift will count. Here. And there's $2 in there.
Aww. You're raising good humans.
I challenge any one of you to make me cry with your giving the way that my son made me cry. Every gift counts. Every gift counts. So right now we're going to give you a moment to make those gifts, whether online or by paper, by pledge, by check. We hope that you will choose to give your most generous gift to invest in work and to help us lead the fight for housing justice so that all people have a safe, stable, and dignified place to live. Thank you for being here tonight. Make those gifts, and we'll have just a moment for you to do that. Thank you. I remind you and encourage you to recognize that this is all done as a community. It's not done any other way. And so I really encourage you to continue making those gifts, whether digitally if that does work, but also making pledges, recurring gifts. Continue to stay engaged with Urban Homeworks. And thank you for being here tonight.
And while you are doing that, we wanted to bring back one fun thing that we did last year for those of you that were here. Everybody should have one of these in your bag that you were given at the door. These are bubbles. So we want anyone that has given tonight or plans to give to pull these out and blow your bubbles. I got it.
I love it. I love the joy in the room. I'm going to give you a second to blow your bubbles.
There we go. There we go. Now we're going.
Amazing. Amazing.
over there.
So Melvin Giles, a community organizer in St. Paul, uses bubbles to promote peace and justice in our communities. As you blow your bubbles, take a look around at the very visual representation of justice, housing justice, and moving together towards building a new future.
We do recognize that checks and pledges will not be on the online platform just yet, but we will be getting those in. So we encourage all of you to check back over the next day, 2 days, to see where we are at. If you have not given yet, if you are able, we ask that you do so. And if you have given, please consider becoming a stability maker with those monthly payments or a multi-year pledge or donation.
So our program here is nearly finished, but our night is not done. After we are done here, I encourage you all to go out, get another drink, use those drink tickets, take a photo at the photo mirror. It's a really cool thing. Use the restrooms, whatever you need, but in about 15 minutes, if you so desire, if you're into like some incredible hip hop, encourage you to go over to the Paradise Room, which is just to the left outside of the doors. We have the very talented, the incredible artist, the joyful Nerdy tonight, giving us a concert. I don't know, matter if you're as white as me, it is incredible. It is incredible. Incredible music, and I encourage you to come. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for all of you being here, for giving, for listening to the stories. Thank you, Amber and Corey. Thank you all. Hope you all have a wonderful night. Enjoy the concert, enjoy the night, and thank you.